Now, only on News 4 Jax, we've obtained internal emails from Wounded Warrior Project executives. Some sources are telling us the emails show a culture that is unchanged, even with the firing of the top two executives last week.
News 4 Jax investigative reporter Lindsay Gardner showed the emails to a crisis management expert. Lindsay, I'd imagine some pretty interesting insight from him.
Absolutely, Joy. Simply put, he says what's telling is not only what's in these emails, but also what's missing. An apology or an acknowledgement of any kind for breaking trust with the public.
I think that years from today, this is going to be taught as a classic case of what not to do in crisis management.
Robert Cohen is a consultant who spent 15 years working with nonprofits on how to handle media relations. We showed him 7 internal emails we obtained from Wounded Warrior Project executives to their staff, all sent after our reports with 3 whistleblowers shining a light on lavish spending by the charity, evidenced by extravagant employee training retreats, like this one in Colorado Springs, where the leader, CEO Steve Nardizzi, entered rappelling down the side of a 5-star resort. 2 days after our next investigative report on tens of thousands of donor dollars spent yearly to print staff yearbooks, Executive Vice President Jonathan Sullivan writes this email to the staff. Team, I won't lie. I was pretty frustrated today because I spent too much time thinking about how a few cowardly individuals and a few lazy reporters with an agenda can damage the public's trust in the great work that you do. You are the best of the best.
The lens they're looking through is a flawed one. You don't blame the messenger for the bad news.
As Wounded Warrior Project was silent to the media and the public in the weeks to follow, more emails to staff reveal management's mindset, like this one from Sullivan again. Please realize our leaders have our backs. They help build this amazingly successful organization. Trust their judgment and their response strategy. Another email from employee Dan Schnock to staffers reads, your character and that of WWP's is rock solid. And in this email, also from Sullivan, he compares criticism of Wounded Warrior Project to that Abraham Lincoln endured, forwarding an article about the difficulty of recognizing excellence in its own time. Sullivan also writing, when you are committed to doing the right thing, it doesn't matter what those around you say about you.
Then all that is showing that they're talking to each other, they're talking in an echo chamber, and they really haven't acknowledged to themselves, and they're unwilling to acknowledge to others that there are serious problems that need to be corrected.
Meanwhile, the charity's own board of directors was conducting a 6-week investigation. CEO Nardizzi and his right-hand man, Chief Operating Officer Al Giordano, were both ousted as a result. This email sent to staff the day after their departure, again from Executive Vice President Jonathan Sullivan, reading in part, this morning we are waking up to a new reality. It's a reality we didn't anticipate, we didn't ask for, and we didn't want to see come. If you think about it, the warriors and family members we serve are injured. They are faced with a reality they never welcomed or anticipated. We will move forward without any doubts about the work we do. This is what I expect for myself, what I expect from all of you, and what I know Steve and Al would expect us to do.
That's breathtaking, and it's basically saying they shouldn't have gone. And what does that say about the thinking of the upper management that's in place today?
Cohen says another glaring flaw, what's missing from the emails, an apology or acknowledgement of any wrongdoing at all.
The evidence against the management of Wounded Warrior seems pretty compelling. I think that at this point what they should be doing is saying, I'm sorry, and saying it over and over again, and saying it publicly and saying it privately to their employees, to their donors, to their clients. They've broken trust.
We also obtained this email from Isla Tizell, the communications executive vice president. She shared with staff the board's press release at 1:47 in the afternoon on Friday. Now, our report announcing the terminations of CEO Stephen Nardizzi and COO Al Giordano came Thursday night. And as you remember, we also reported to you last week, many folks were upset, staffers at Wounded Warrior Project, saying they learned of the terminations from the news and not internally. However, within the last 15 minutes, I did hear from the PR firm for the board of directors, and they told me that staff was notified Thursday night when the press release went out. Any reports before that press release was made official was just speculation by sources and through the media.
Lindsay, what does Mr. Cohen say Wounded Warrior Project should do to fix their damaged reputation?
Well, on top of an apology over and over again, Tom, he says they likely need to get rid of more executive vice presidents and possibly go as far as replacing the board of directors because they failed their fiduciary responsibilities and may have also lost credibility with the public. Of course, we will post all of these emails in their entirety with my report on news4jax.com.
Lindsay, thank you.